Are you currently trying to grow your anthurium seedlings that are looking kind of like this, but really you want it to look like this? And obviously one day we want it to get as big as this guy right over here. Well, I think I figured out a substrate that's really going to help our seedlings grow and push off a lot of roots, and then in turn it's going to grow nice and big and healthy. So let's get into this video because I'm fairly excited and I really need to repot all of my seedlings into this substrate. So let's get into it. Tree fern fiber. This is the secret ingredient, or actually the secret substrate to all of our struggling anthurium problems. Now, this isn't new news. This has been floating around on the internet for quite some time. I just never got around to filming because I didn't really have any plants that were struggling until I did. So when I did my research and I came upon tree fern fiber, and I'm pretty sure I was sold to get a bag because I saw Charmaine's and Alice's anthuriums grow in them and they were doing so good. So I was like, let me go ahead and get myself a bag. And I'm glad I did, because now my queen is putting off a new leaf right here. Sorry, a new leaf right here. And if you take a look at the roots, it's doing very well. So that wasn't there before. And my crystallinum luxurian, it's doing so good. Now, it was already putting off this leaf and it was hardening when I was transplanting it into tree fern fiber, but it's doing pretty good. I think this is going to be its final form, so I'm happy for that. And there are quite a few benefits to using tree fern fiber, which I will get to during my repot. So let's start repotting. So one of the key benefits of using tree fern fiber is that it actually provides really good aeration for your plants, and that's really important because if you're using soil and you don't have good enough aeration, what ends up happening is that the soil will become too compacted and the plant itself won't be able to absorb nutrients and water as it needs in order for it to flourish and grow. So it provides good aeration. It holds on to a whole lot of water, but it's still well draining, and that's really important because if you don't have something that's well draining, what ends up happening is you might run the risk of root rot, and we're not here for that. So one of the key benefits in using tree fern fiber is the fact that it's supposed to be really good for all of your propagating plants, and I can 100% see why. Now, if you look at your plants that are currently starting to root, you're going to notice that some of your plants, let's say Hoyas and philodendrons, their roots are very fine. So let's say you have that propagating plant in ponds itself can be too heavy. So that alone can hinder the new delicate roots from growing, and we don't want that. We want them to root. So when you have something like tree fern fiber, you can see that the texture of it is very fine and very light. This is super light and very airy, which I totally appreciate. So it's like a warm blanket for your roots. So because it's like the perfect environment for your plants to grow, you're gonna end up with very healthy roots, which is what everybody wants. That's what we're here for. So I don't know if I had mentioned already, if I haven't, I'm actually mixing my tree fern fiber in with orchiata and coarse perlite. The bag itself was fairly expensive. I think it was like $35-ish for a bag. So I'm trying to like stretch it out as best that I can by adding other light light substrates in here as well. And I am spraying it down with some water that has a couple of drops of HB101. I figure may as well give this substrate some nutrients so that it can help the roots to grow. So Tofu is inspecting the mix. I don't think it's quite ready yet. So I have seen some people mix tree fern fiber in with ponds. Ideally, I would like to transfer all of my my plants to semi-hydro, but because these are very delicate roots that I'm working with, I really don't want to have them in ponds just yet. So I'm just gonna stick to tree fern fiber, and pot them up. The goal is to get all of my seedlings to be as big as this this plant over here, but you know, we gotta start somewhere. Does it look okay? Shall we show the camera? All right, so Ritz totally licked that, but it's fine. So right here we have the Zara Michelle hybrid anthurium. It's the Dock Block and Tazula. It's from them, I believe. And the leaves look okay. The roots look meh. It's not really doing too much. So it's time to do something different with this. Now I did unpot it from the moss that it was currently in, and the moss looks pretty wet, but I think I was just a little bit heavy-handed with watering or keeping the moss moist that day. So I'm glad I am unpotting it now. And I'm just gonna pot it up in this, and I will probably give it another spritz before I close the lid on this guy. So here it is, all potted up. I'm gonna give it a little spritz. And put the lid back on this, and that'll be that. This one is the, oh, it's the Zara Michelle and Magnificum hybrid, and let's see how it's doing. This one actually has some substantial roots, nothing too crazy. Could be, I mean, it's a lot better than the other one, that's for sure. We have a little fuzzy root going on over here. I don't know if I'll be able to pick that up on camera for you, but so here's the leaf, the leaves, and there's the fuzzy little root right there. I don't think it's picking it up, but it's there. It does have some secondary roots going on right now, which is nice, but still not enough. It's never enough.
Like never ever is never enough, and there will never be enough.
So what's really nice about tree fern fiber is that it holds on to water quite well, which is great because it is also very well draining. So because this is in an enclosed container, I am just going to keep an eye out and be careful with how much water I'm putting into this container, because I don't want it to have root rot. That's like the last thing that I want. Now this one is not labeled. If this one isn't labeled, I can only assume that this one is probably the Ace of Spades hybrid. That didn't really bring me that much joy. But I mean, it's put off a new leaf, and it's actually kind of cute. Alright, so here's the newest leaf. It's very green, and the primary leaf looks like it might go, but we'll see. The roots look okay. It's grown in length, but like I said, we always want more. So let's go ahead and pot this guy up. the last one is the Anthurium Carla. I'm gonna have to retape that. Now this one is from a germinated seed, and it does have some fuzzy little roots going on right now. So here it is. It has a new little leaf, and you can see like its roots are starting to come in very well, and the little seed that it came out of. It's not doing too bad in moss, to be honest, but I want to just have consistency across the board, so it's gonna go in tree fern fiber. So here they are, all potted up in tree fern fiber. I'm gonna leave them in this container because it is receiving 100% humidity. All of my seedlings are receiving 12 hours of light every day. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see some root development in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't really think there's anything to really update you guys on until probably spring or summer. And that's just because the seedlings are so juvenile and the roots were so juvenile that I don't foresee it doing anything really crazy until summertime. But if there are any changes, I will update this accordingly and most likely just do like a quick update on my Instagram. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.